Good morning. President Trump attends prayer breakfasts at the Capitol and Washington Hilton this morning, delivering remarks. His Tuesday idea of the U.S. taking control of Gaza, hoping to rebuild it and make it the Riviera of the Middle East, landed with a thud in the greater Middle East on Wednesday. That's with the exception of Israel's Netanyahu. Perhaps most importantly, Saudi Arabia is threatening to never come to a final peace agreement with Israel if Gaza is destined to be in the hands of U.S. or Israeli interests. Already, Egypt and Jordan have declined the notion of taking in Palestinians from the admittedly largely destroyed Gaza Strip. But if the Saudis are against handing over territory to the U.S., that might give Donald Trump pause, since he is hoping that the Saudis, that nation, will pump more oil, and that's all part of his plan to lower prices for all Americans in this country. He says that's the basis. Lower oil prices will be the basis of lowering prices in this country. Now, as an aside, President Joe Biden tried to kowtow a bit to Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in an effort to open up the oil spigots more to lower gasoline prices at the height of inflation. However, that did not work well, since Biden had been critical of MBS over the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Other oil-producing Gulf states have sounded the alarm about the Trump plan, and White House officials plus Republicans on Capitol Hill are trying to downplay the notion the U.S. would take control of Gaza, because that would eventually require some sort of permanent U.S. military presence in a long, volatile region. Stateside, especially in the state of Michigan, the Arab Americans for Trump group has changed its name following Trump's comments on Gaza. It still seems they back Trump, but for other things, but they are now Arab Americans for Peace. After the prayer breakfast, Speaker Mike Johnson will lead a delegation of GOP leaders to the White House to sit down with Trump to go over what options there are for one big beautiful bill or two big beautiful bills to launch the Trump agenda. Republican senators seem to favor the latter, and Johnson's majority is so thin he must somehow appease the deficit hawks in his conference, when much of the Trump agenda will increase spending while cutting taxes. In the Senate, Democrats held an all-night talkathon against the confirmation of Russell Vought for Office of Management and Budget Director. Vought is the main author of Project 2025, and even without him at the helm, OMB has taken steps in keeping with the ultra-conservative goals in that plan. Still, later today, Senate Republicans will likely back Vought on the floor. Now, President Trump is planning to go to the Super Bowl on Sunday, and I even wore a football tie today. I'm not an Eagles fan. I live in Baltimore. I'm a Ravens fan, not an Eagles fan necessarily. However, I just can't bring myself to root for the Chiefs. I can't bring myself to root for people that I find so annoying after a while. With Ear on the White House, I'm Bob Costantini.